Hello everybody, and welcome back to Cooking with Johnny B. Today we're going to be featuring one of my favorite kitchen appliances, the Instant Pot Duo. And in this we're going to make potatoes 3 ways. Once your potatoes are peeled, and I like to just kind of leave them setting in cold water so that they don't turn brown, it's time to cut them into small little bits. So typically I'll take a small tomato like this, I'll cut it in half again, and then just start making small 1/2 inch cuts all the way through. That doesn't take very long to do all these potatoes. Okay, so this gives you just about 2.5 pounds of potatoes, just slightly under in my when I weighed them this morning. And the other thing you're going to need are some nice bacon bits. These I made fresh this morning. I just fried them up and chopped them up pretty fine. You don't want them to be too thick because you want them to be able to spread evenly as you make the mashed potatoes. The next step is for us to take these potatoes that are already in this strainer basket and place them in the Instant Pot. So this strainer basket, something I purchased a couple years ago, comes with this little trivet. This allows the basket to set off of the bottom so your food don't have any direct contact with the water. Then we're going to place in exactly 1 cup of water into the Instant Pot. The reason we use 1 cup of water is we don't want it to take too long to build up to pressure. The more water you take, the longer it takes for it to build to pressure. So we're going to place the lid on here. Now that the lid's on, just one quick reminder. If you have the Instant Pot 8 quart, you're going to need to use 1.5 cups of water instead of just 1. So now let's turn it on. You use pressure cook. We want it to go 10 minutes, so we don't need to use the up or down switch. We just need to make sure it's on high pressure, and then once we stop touching the keypad, it will say on, just like this. And now we have to wait for 10 minutes, and then we can start with the next process. Okay, now that the cook time is complete, let's let the steam out. So let's push the valve, release button. I'm gonna let out the steam. That'll take about a minute. Okay, now that the pin's dropped, it's safe to open the lid. So let's see what's inside. So remember, whenever you open the lid, you always want to open it away from yourself so that the steam can release away from you and you don't get burned. So let's just set this aside for a minute. And I want to show you these potatoes. These are just perfect and they're really nice and moist. So here's the next step. We are going to take out this liner. And after we empty out about half the water, we're going to pour the potatoes right back in. So that's going to give us about 1/2 of a cup of water in the bottom of the liner along with the potatoes. So now I'm going to adjust the view so you can see the next step. So my favorite way of mashing the potatoes is to use a potato masher just like this. So we're going to start in by giving it a gentle mash before we start adding in some of these ingredients. Okay, now we're going to take some butter. So let's do the equivalent of about 1/2 stick of butter. And we'll begin to mash this in. And all along, you notice that there is, this is continuing to keep warm because we're on the keep warm function of the Instant Pot. Now you can see this is starting to look pretty nice, but we want to have it a little more smooth texture. So we're going to start adding some heavy whipping cream. So this is all going to be done based on how creamy you like your potatoes. I like to have them very creamy. Some people like them a little firmer. But let's just keep mixing this and incorporate everything in. So all the cream and all of the butter will be all incorporated. And I think I want just a little more cream. This is probably the equivalent of about a half a cup of cream. So you can see you just keep working it around until it's nice and smooth. Okay, now the next step is to take these delicious bacon bits and we're just going to toss them right in here. Make sure that they're all crumbly, and then we're going to mix them using the same method. So now these are done. So let me put these in a nice bowl and show you the presentation, and we'll have a taste. One of the things that we need to do for the sweet potato recipe is we need to kind of pre-cook the pineapple rings. So take a cookie sheet, put down some parchment paper, and we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes, making sure that they don't get brown. The preparation of this next recipe is crucial because you want to take your potatoes and you want to scrub them vigorously to get all the dirt off. But the next part is equally as important. You're going to take a fork and you're going to go all the way around numerous times, because this is what's going to allow the steam from inside of the potato as it builds to escape. That will keep your potatoes from exploding in the Instant Pot. All right, now that the potatoes are substantially pierced, it's time to coat them with some kind of fat. So you can either use vegetable oil, spray, or you can use vegetable oil of any kind, avocado oil, whatnot, or you can use just simple butter. So I like to use butter. So I'm just going to take and coat these with butter and set them right inside of the Instant Pot steamer. Now the steamer pan is the same pan that we used for the mashed potatoes. So now that these are all buttered, it's time to turn it on. Okay, once again, we want to use 1 cup of water. We're just going to pour that right into the Instant Pot. And we're going to set the time. So it's important to note that when we set the time on the Instant Pot for potatoes, that one time doesn't always fit all. So we're going to be using, since these potatoes are approximately 3 inches in width, we're going to cook them for 25 minutes. So we're going to hit pressure cook. We're going to use the up button to 25 minutes. And make sure it's on high pressure, and then it will start. Now, I am going to place in the description a link that has the different cooking times for each different size of potato. So hopefully that will help you to ensure that you're cooking it for the right amount of time, not too much or not too little. Now that the Instant Pot has come up to pressure, there's a 25-minute countdown. And as soon as it's done cooking, we need to let it have a natural release. In other words, we don't release it with the pressure release valve, and it needs to naturally release for about 10 minutes. So let's check out what's going on in the oven here. We have the pineapple rings that are kind of browning on the top. They're just about ready, and I will turn the oven off, keep them in the heated oven, so when it comes time to pipe them with the mix from the sweet potato, they'll be all ready to go. Now that the cooking time is over, it's time for us now to wait for 10 minutes for this Instant Pot to naturally release the pressure. Then we can open it up and see what we've got. All right, well, the pen has dropped, and now it's time for us to check out our beautiful baked potatoes. Once again, when you open the lid, always open it away from you so the steam doesn't get on you. And these are perfect. That is a pretty potato. Those look so nice. So we're going to plate these up and we're going to try them out. Okay, let's open this up and see how it turned out. Tender all the way through. Now that is a beautiful baked potato. We'll put a little butter in there. And a little sour cream. Some salt and some pepper. And let's have a taste. Oh my goodness, that is so good. I can't wait for you to try this. That is a perfect baked potato. The last and final recipe is the sweet potato on pineapple coated with pecans. So let's start with about 2.5 pounds of sweet potatoes. These have been peeled and diced into small bits. So we're just going to place this right inside the Instant Pot. Now we're going to pour 1 cup of water right in there like just the last couple times. Place on the lid. And we're going to set this for 10 minutes. So we want to do pressure cook, and we want to go down to 10 minutes. And now it's cooking. We just have to wait for it to reach that pressure, and then after 10 minutes of cooking, we can do a quick release, and the fun will begin. Okay, now that the time is up, I'm going to release the pressure. And once it's released, we'll be ready to smash them up. Okay, now that the pen is dropped, it's time to open it up. Always open it away from yourself. And let's put these right directly into this bowl. Our next step is to mash all these up. So I'm just using the hamburger masher that I have. It's one that I bought on Amazon. And I want to get these as smooth as I can. So just take your time and mash away. Now if you want to, you can also take this and you can add some brown sugar. But I don't want mine quite that sweet. So that's about all you need to do at this point. So now the next step from here is we are going to put this in a piping bag. Now I like to use a Ziploc bag because it's disposable for number one and makes the cleanup a lot easier. And now I'm going to load it all up with the sweet potato mix. I can tell you that this really, really smells good. So now let's seal this up, and let's just take a minute here to just kind of mash anything left over that we need to. If there's any bits, and just do that. Okay, now, okay, here we go. We're going to now pipe the mixture right on top of the pineapple pieces. Now the last thing to do is to sprinkle some pecans on the top. And there you have it, a delectable sweet potato pineapple pecan dish. Okay everybody, now is my favorite time of the video. It's time to taste. So let's start out first of all with the sweet potato pineapple and pecan side dish. That was so good. This reminds me of Thanksgiving. My mom used to make these every Thanksgiving, and sometimes she would even put a little whipped cream on top. But these are really good. I can't wait for you to try this at home. Next, we're going to try the mashed potatoes, the bacon mashed potatoes. Oh, this is so good. Right off, you can taste the bacon flavor. It's the highlight of this dish, along with the salt and the creaminess, and you could even add sour cream or any kind of other condiments that you would like, but that just is awesome. And finally, the baked potato. This is nice and moist, juicy. Perfectly done. Perfectly done. So there you have it. You have potatoes made 3 ways in your Instant Pot. You have baked potato, delicious mashed potatoes with bacon, and finally, sweet potatoes on pineapple rings covered in pecans. I think you're really going to love these recipes, and I can't wait to hear back from you once you've tried them. So please leave a comment. I would appreciate it. Also, if you could take the time, if you enjoyed this video, to subscribe to the channel, it really helps. And then share it with a friend and give it a nice thumbs up and a like. So that's it for today at Cooking with Johnny B, and I hope to catch you on the next one.